It is in this part of the brain where God communicates with man. In Isaiah 1:18, the Bible says, "Come, let us reason together." You see, this is where the reasoning happens. Unfortunately, there are many things today that people are doing that are actually clouding or compromising the part where our goals are, the part where our intellect, reason and judgment is.
Meet Dr. Barbara O'Neill. She is an Australian alternative healthcare advocate and globally recognized naturopath. Her journey into holistic health began when she successfully treated her son's illness using natural remedies, igniting a lifelong passion for empowering others through natural healing. Despite facing bans due to her criticism of conventional medicine, her approaches, backed by modern science, continue to transform lives. She has written numerous books. One of her most popular books is Self-Heal by Design, inspiring countless individuals to embrace a more natural path to wellness. Did you know there's a specific part of your brain where God communicates with you? In this eye-opening video, Barbara O'Neill reveals how much power you truly have over your mind. She'll guide us through the 7 mental laws that can rewire your brain for a better, more connected life. Stay tuned to unlock the secrets to transforming your mind and tapping into your full potential.
And there is what's called the limbic system. And the limbic system basically takes up about that part of the brain. And this limbic system is often called the emotional brain. And I think we all know about emotions. And I think we all know that emotions aren't a very good guide because they go up and down like the wind. But there's another part of our brain that God designed to actually control that limbic system, that emotional part of the brain. So to do this, we're going to have a look at the brain from top down. From top down, you will have a look at the brain like this, and in the front part of the brain, and we're going to call this the right side of the brain and the left side of the brain, and I think the way you're looking it is. So in the right part of the brain, you could call that the I want section. That's down there. Sorry, not the I want, the I won't. Now this is a very important part of the brain. Where it's very important is, no, I won't have that cigarette. No, I won't have that cup of coffee. No, I won't have that big steak. I'll have a bowl of lentils instead. And on the left part of the brain is the I will. And the I will part of the brain is also very important because I will get out of bed and exercise this morning. I will go to bed early. I will make decisions that are helpful for my body. So you've got the I won't and you've got the I will. And we need a little bit of balance in there, and that's where we come to. Right in the centre is the I want part of the brain. What do I want? Do I want a healthy body? And if I want a healthy body, then I can trigger the I won't do that or I will do that. And God designed our brain so that this part of the brain, just here in the centre, is where our goals are. It's called the prefrontal cortex, or sometimes it's called the frontal lobe. And this is where our will is. This is where we make our decisions, and and the I will or the I want threaded through the won't through the I want. That's actually what should govern our decisions, and that's so important because our decisions determine our destiny. So in the front part of the brain, this is where our intellect is. This is where our reasoning powers reside, and this is where judgment takes place.
The limbic system, particularly the prefrontal cortex, plays a crucial role in our emotional responses, decision-making, and connection to higher thoughts and feelings. It's believed to be the part of the brain where God communicates with us, guiding our moral compass and spiritual insights. This mysterious region holds the key to unlocking the secrets of divine connection, acting as a bridge between the spiritual and rational worlds. Revolutionary studies in neuroscience reveal that brain plasticity allows for the reshaping of neural networks throughout life, paving the way for profound transformations in our thoughts and behaviors. This divine communication influences our daily choices and behaviors, helping us align our lives with a higher purpose. However, this communication can be affected by some of our habits. Let's explore what those habits are and how we can revive this crucial connection.
So dehydration compromises it. Late nights compromise it. Lack of exercise compromises it. Bad food compromises it. Bad air compromises it. So on the other hand, when we're well hydrated, when we're well slept, when we've got nourishing food in our bodies, when we're breathing in fresh air, we're having sunshine every day, then the I want part, in fact, one author called it the guardian. That's the guardian that's actually influences the wills and the wants part of the brain, which are, of course, affected by the limbic system, which is your emotional, your feeling part of the brain. I'd like to use as my framework the 7 mental laws that govern the brain and show you how you can rewire your brain, show you how you can actually change even the way that you think. Isn't that good news? The first law is the law of cause and effect. Effect follows cause with unvarying degree all through nature, and never should the effect be blamed as the cause. I had a lady come to me and she said, I found the cause of all my problems. I've got chronic fatigue syndrome. I said, no, that's not the cause of all your problems. That's actually the effect. Even when someone says, I've got depression, do you know you can't just get depression? Depression is actually an effect. It is not a cause. There's a very interesting book by an American doctor named Dr. Neil Nedley. It's called Depression: A Way Out. Every chapter starts with someone else's story, showing how they conquered depression. Dehydration affects depression. Late nights affect depression. So you can see what we're doing this morning. We're pulling those 8 physical laws we looked at this week, and we're pulling the 8 mental laws together. We should always have our detective hat on. Do you know, recently I consulted a private detective, and I said to him, oh, you're a private detective, so am I. I love the detective work of discovering why someone has a certain condition. It's Newton's 3rd law of motion. To every action, there is an equal and an opposite reaction. Proverbs 26 verse 2 states that the curse causeless shall not come. You know what that means? No problem happens without a cause. There is always a reason. In fact, to say someone just has something is to defy basic science. So we should always be looking at the cause of a problem. And sometimes the problem for depression could be too much coffee, dehydration. So that's the best place to start. When someone comes to me wanting help with depression, do you know that's what I do? I said, start drinking more water. Start easing off your coffee. You could stop your coffee straight away, but you might suffer. A clear indication that it's not doing you any good. I say start going to bed early. Start limiting your technology time. Start seriously assessing what you're watching and the effect it's having on your brain. Start exercising. But I don't feel like exercising. Yes, that's your limbic emotional brain. But what do you want? I want to feel good. I want to conquer my depression, so I will go and exercise. Can you see how that all threads into each other? The second law is the law of choice. And the law of choice, as you can see, is determined in that I want, the frontal lobe part of the brain, your guardian, where your goals are. This is what you feel like doing, but this is what you want, so that influences your decisions. And when you're well slept, well hydrated, well sunned, well exercised, well fed, that I want part of the brain is a lot stronger. But we've got something else coming here, and that's habit. You've heard of habit? Habit can be our best friends or our worst enemies. The third law of the brain states that your words affect your feelings. So don't wait till you feel like it, or you possibly will never do it. And who would want to hold on to that pain? That's why it's so important to know about your limbic system, To know about your emotional feeling system, the research shows it takes 21 days to form a new habit. 21 days of going down the new pathway, it's a physical pathway in the brain. 21 days of not going down the old one, it gets fainter and fainter. Repetition is the mother of retention, and repetition deepens the impression. These pathways are built in our brain. We can rewire our brain. Right up until the day we die, we can rewire our brain. And if you say it's good, guess what? It will be. And if you say it's terrible, guess what? It will be. That's the choice factor. Your words reveal your feelings, and you can't let them all out. Some say it's your right to speak your mind. It's your obligation not to speak your mind. The fifth law is the law of adaptation. We've got a changeable brain. And because we've got a changeable brain, we can rewire our brain. There's 2 proverbs that talk about it. Interesting to note that medicine only acknowledged it in the last 13 years. One proverb is Proverbs 13 verse 20, where it says, he that walketh with wise men shall be wise, but a companion of fools will be destroyed, because of the law of adaptation. It's also called neuroplasticity, soft-wired. The other proverb is Proverbs 22:24, where it says, make no friendship with an angry man. With a furious man thou shalt not go, lest thou learn his ways. And our brain can grow and our brain can shrink. It is true that there are things that damage brain cells, and if they're damaged, they don't grow again. But there are 3 things today that medicine is showing can stimulate new brain cell growth in the hippocampus part of the brain. Every time we learn something new, we develop another dendrite. That one brain cell can develop 70,000 dendrites. I can hardly get my mind around that one. And you know what the research shows? We can be growing new dendrites right up until the day we die. So there are 3 things we can grow. We can grow new pathways, we can grow new dendrites, and we can even grow new brain cells. God is so good. What about shrink? When you forgive anyone who's ever hurt you in your life, your glial cells are activated to mop up all the thorns, and the pathway to that memory actually shrinks. So it needn't be part of your daily thoughts. That's the good news. So what's the bad news about shrinking? If you don't use your brain cells, you will lose them. Number 7, the last law is the law of diversion. And the law of diversion states that when something is so firmly denied as to refuse any hope for it, the brain has the ability to divert to other pursuits. I love that law, because sometimes God closes a door, but what's the saying? When God closes a door, he opens a window. An Italian man said to me, no. What we say is when God closes one door, he'll open 2. Have you found that?
As Barbara O'Neill beautifully described the 7 mental laws, we hope you've gained a deeper understanding and that you'll begin to see your brain in a new light. Rewiring the brain is not an easy task, much like when a pianist first begins to play. Those initial notes may not sound very good, but if he does not give up, he can be the best pianist. This journey of transformation is similar. It's where the I will comes in. As we make this commitment, we believe God is pleased with our decision and provides help along the way. Our hope is that you'll embrace the challenge to rewire your brain. By doing so, you can achieve a healthier, happier life, something that God desires for all of us.